law will be held by the City of Syracuse Industrial Development Agency on the 19th day of November 2019 at 8 a.m. local time at 233 East Washington Street, Common Council Chambers, City Hall, Syracuse, New York, in connection with the following matter. 300 Spencer Street LLC, or an entity to be formed, requested the agency to undertake a project consisting of A, the acquisition of an interest in approximately 117,432 square feet of improved property located at 300 Spencer Street in the city of Syracuse, New York, the land, the demolition of 2 existing buildings, and the construction of a 5-story, approximately 106,000 square foot building consisting of commercial space to house the corporate headquarters for Bankers Healthcare Group with an attached covered parking structure and an adjacent surface parking lot for an aggregate approximately 500 vehicle parking spaces and related site improvements, all located on the land. The acquisition and installation in and at the land and facility of furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and together with the land and the facility, the project facility. B, the granting of certain financial assistance in the form of exemptions from real estate taxes, state and local sales tax, sales and use tax, and mortgage recording tax in accordance with Section 874 of the General Municipal Law. Collectively, the financial assistance. The appointment of the company or its designee as an agent of the agency in connection with the acquisition, construction, equipping, and completion of the project facility, and the lease of the land and facility by the agency pursuant to a lease agreement, and the acquisition of an interest in the equipment pursuant to a bill of sale from the company to the agency, and the sublease of the project facility back to the company pursuant to a sublease agreement. The company shall be the initial owner or operator of the project facility. The agency will, at the above stated time and place, hear all persons with views with respect to the proposed financial assistance to the company, the proposed owner-operator, the location of the project facility, and the nature of the project. A copy of the application filed by the company with the agency with respect to the project, including an analysis of costs and benefits of the project, are available for public inspection during business hours at the office of the agency located at 201 East Washington Street, 6th floor, Syracuse, New York.
Thank you. At this time, I would welcome anyone to speak on behalf of the project. Please identify yourself and limit your comments to this project.
Appreciate it. Thanks. My name is Jeremy Callie. I am an attorney at Bankers Healthcare Group, and appreciate you guys hearing us this morning. We are well underway at this point. We have also here Tom Douglas, who works with Bankers Healthcare Group, and Scott Freeman with Kepler Freeman, who have been our site engineers. To talk about BHG just briefly, it's a company of over 500 employees with its primary financial headquarters here in Syracuse, New York. We also have headquarters in Florida, Davies, Florida. Excuse me, I walked very fast here and I'm out of shape. So give me a minute. And we also have offices in Manhattan. There's about 40 employees down there, 260 in Florida, and we're now capping over 260 here in Syracuse with the intention to double that really in the next 5 years. We currently have a building that we had built on 201 Solar Street, which is right next door to this property. So when this property came available, it was very attractive to us. Really see it as a gateway to the Inner Harbor here. Our owners are Albert Crawford and Eric Castro. Eric is in Florida, and Al Crawford is a local guy from here. They are 51% owners of BHG. Pinnacle Bank is currently 49% owner. Al's goal and passion is to really grow the company here in Syracuse, New York. Would like to see, for lack of a better way of saying it, a Google-type campus atmosphere for the employees. He's also recognized that attracting young talent and local talent and employees to come work at BHG, many of them want to live downtown. They want to experience the downtown atmosphere, and so he wants to stay in the city of Syracuse and build the campus right here at 300 Spencer Street. A lot of our employees already do live, work, and go to restaurants and spend their time downtown. As Judy read, this would be a 100,000+ square foot, 5-story complex, primarily office space, with an atrium type atmosphere in the lobby that moves up to the second floor. We do a lot of presentations, a lot of full company ceremonies and awards, banquets once a month, where we gather the entire company together. And so King & King Architects, working on this project with us, they've designed a 2-floor atrium that would seat everyone, where we could give presentations around the office space. It's going to be a beautiful building. This would be, again, 5 stories, 100,000 square feet. Last time we were here, we talked a little bit about the jobs that are at BHG, and particularly jobs that would grow in this area. I'm just going to list some of them and give you a little bit of idea of what the salaries look like and what the ranges are of the types of jobs that are already here and the jobs we'd be creating. We do have a full accounting and financial department here in Syracuse, New York. Those jobs range from $33,000 to $115,000. We're currently growing the accounting department. We have administrative, obviously, and executive staff that run from $30,000 to $125,000. Bank sales, part of our business, you'll notice, I'll talk a little bit about our front-end sales department that originates loans. We also work with over 1,000 partner banks throughout the United States that purchase our loans. And so we do have a bank sales department. And those positions from support to sales reps range anywhere from $25,000 to $120,000, and that's without including incentives and commission. And so many of the bank sales rep that live and work in Syracuse make far more than that with the incentives and the commission that they make. Client services, between $32,500 and $115,000. We have closers anywhere from $40,000 to $65,000. We have a full collections department in Syracuse between $30,000 and $126,000. Credit and underwriting for our loans, they're here in Syracuse. Those jobs, we'd be growing that department, and several of those jobs between $40,000 and $125,000. We have a credit card company that would be a part of this, a wholly owned subsidiary of BHG. It's BHG Credit Card. Those jobs range between $30,000 and $100,000. Our finance department, $51,000 to $200,000 jobs in the finance department. We have a company called FSG, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bankers Healthcare Group, and they provide SBA loans and originate SBA loans, which are government-backed supported loans. That business has a full department ranging between $51,500 and $200,000 jobs. We have a funding department that funds the loans that's here in Syracuse. And again, similar between $35,000 and $45,000 jobs. Our human resources in Syracuse, New York ranges between $50,000 and $85,000. IT development and IT infrastructure is here in Syracuse primarily. We do have some of those employees in Florida, but most of them in Syracuse, again, ranging between $40,000 and $95,000 a year jobs. Leads and management and marketing, those jobs range between $40,000 and $200,000. We have a legal and a compliance department that range between $40,000 and $200,000. We have a large marketing department that is growing in Syracuse. That's between $40,000 and $250,000. Our marketing department right now takes up an entire floor above Suds Factory in Armory Square. We have an operations department. And that's a few jobs that are high-end jobs, around $100,000, and a sales department that's very large. Right now, our sales department, which would be front-end originating loan sales department, is looking to lease another 9,000 square feet in the atrium just because we've run out of space for our sales. So we can't build this building fast enough, and that front-end sales is growing. Without including incentives and commission, they range between $30,000 and $110,000. So those are the types of jobs that we currently have. Over 260 employees now. Last time we spoke, it was 256. Every Monday, I see a new group of employees walking through the building. So we're over 260 now in Syracuse and continuing to grow. Again, sales is growing fast, and so we're as I think I mentioned last time we spoke, we now are filling 201 Solar Street. We're in the firehouse, the JGB building across the street from our building now. We're filling 115 Solar Street. We have the 4th floor above Suds Factory, the 5th floor above Suds Factory, and we're looking to rent another 9,000 square feet at the atrium. So we need a headquarters. We'd like to get everybody together under one roof. If you have any questions about the building itself or the structure or the site, I certainly can answer those. And I know we do have Scott here, who's our site manager, that can field any of those questions.
Great, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Would anybody else like to speak in favor of the project? One final time, would anybody like to speak in favor of the project? At this time, I'd offer anybody the opportunity to speak against the project. Second time, would anybody like to speak against the project? Okay. At this point, we'll close the public hearing, and I will now call the meeting to order. And the first order of business will be roll call. Mike Frame, Chair.
Kathy Murphy, Treasurer.
Ricky Brown, Secretary.
Steve Thompson. Ken McKenzie.
Thank you. I'll note that proof of notice was adequately given. We'll now move on to minutes, and I will seek approval of the minutes from the October 15th Board of Directors meeting. I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Ken was the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The minutes carried. Next, I'll move on to the Finance Committee report. The Finance Committee had a meeting on November 4th. At the meeting, an application from the Joint School Construction Board requesting the agency issue school facility revenue bonds in the amount not to exceed $108 million was reviewed. Representatives of the City School District were present to discuss the project entailing extensive renovations for Clary, Danforth, and the Expeditionary Learning Middle Schools and Henniger and Fowler High Schools. After the review and discussion, members of the Finance Committee approved a motion to recommend to the Board of Directors approval of the project. This time we'll move on to new business, and the first order of business is Joint School Construction Board. Judy?
I'm going to take it for you. Good morning, everyone. As the chairman just outlined for you, the Joint School Construction Board filed an application with the board to do renovations to certain of its schools in an amount not to exceed $108 million and is seeking the issuance by this board of its tax-exempt bonds to do so. As you know, the JSCB has been before the board several times, both your predecessors and this board, to do a number of renovations throughout the school district, and they've been doing really wonderful work. So what you have before you now is not a request to approve the issuance, but the prerequisite, which is the request to approve a public hearing with respect to the issuance of the bonds. Just to reiterate what the chairman outlined, they are looking to do renovations to Clary, Danforth, Elm, Fowler, and Henniger. At Henniger, they're going to do a 19,000-foot addition to house classrooms. At Fowler, some of the renovations include the installation of new athletic fields, a track, and a stadium. Other than that, there are numerous renovations taking place at the schools, both internally and to the facades and the landscaping, which are outlined in the resolution. So with that, we are requesting that the board authorize a public hearing with respect to the issuance of an amount not to exceed $108 million.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution authorizing a public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries.
Thank you.
Next is JMA Tech Properties, LLC. Judy?
Yes. The agency has received an application from JMA Tech Properties, LLC for assistance for a project that's going to be located at 120-154 Cortland Ave, which is the former Coin Textile Building, and adjacent properties to that building. The company proposes the gut renovation of that 118,000 square foot building to locate a new advanced 5G manufacturing and innovation center, which is going to be the focal point of a planned 5G campus at the site. The company is forecasting a minimum of 100 jobs will be created as a result of this project. As I said, this application encompasses 13 parcels, which includes the Coin building itself, 2 parcels with smaller buildings, one of which will be demolished, and 10 parcels that will be used for parking. The cost of this initial project is estimated to be $15,815,000. The company is requesting benefits from the agency in the form of a mortgage tax exemption estimated at $94,000, a sales tax exemption estimated at $880,000, and a pilot which value to be determined. This is a large project which we welcome for the city, and today we have Gail Colley representing JMA, who is welcome to come up and answer some questions. Gail? If you have any regarding the project.
Yes, good morning. Gail Colley, I'm representing JMA Technologies. We are located currently out in Liverpool, New York. We have approximately 500 employees there now. This project that we're proposing is 100 new jobs. Those 500 jobs will stay in place. This technology bringing to Syracuse will be the only 5G manufacturing in the United States. The R&D currently exists in Texas, and it's being contract manufactured. It's the goal of JMA Technologies to bring manufacturing back to Central New York, specifically in downtown Syracuse, and bring the 5G technology to the forefront of the entire business structure. What you'll see at the end of the project is a state-of-the-art, custom, something that's never been done in the United States, and certainly I think it'll surprise everybody in upstate New York with what we plan to do there, whether it's wireless, driverless cars, drones, and other technology that sits on the cusp of 5G technology. So we're very excited about it, and we appreciate the City of Syracuse considering this project for us. I'm open to any questions if you'd like.
I have just two questions. How many current parking spaces are on the property? Do you know?
I believe there's approximately 160 in that adjacent lot.
Yeah. And you're going to add additional?
We are going to add additional.
Okay. And there's brownfield involved, isn't it, mediation, as far as I...
That's correct. There's a current brownfield project in place specific to the Coin project, the Coin textile building itself.
Right.
And that's something that we will be working on.
Take over the mediation.
It's already been accepted into the brownfield cleanup program, and they're going to, I assume, will step in at
as
once
owner.
they, yes. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Anything else?
Not for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So today we are requesting that the board authorize a public hearing on this resolution for a public hearing, and also, in this case, a resolution appointing the agency as lead agency for purposes of SECRA. So there'll be 2 resolutions.
So the first then resolution that I'll put before the board would be the lead agency resolution.
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries. We'll now move on to the second resolution authorizing a public hearing on behalf of the project. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries. Next, we'll move on to Jasso Properties LLC.
Yes. The next item on the agenda is Jasso Properties LLC. The agency has received an application for a project that will be located at 1614 East Genesee Street, which is the former Richmark Carpet Building. That should be familiar to everybody. This project is located in the neighborhood revitalization area. It's a 50,000 square foot building. It has been designated as a historic property. It has been largely vacant for a number of years. Not completely, but mostly vacant. In 2018, Jasso Properties and their affiliated company, Cueva Contract, Inc., acquired the property, and moved its commercial interior design business into it. They are now proposing a full renovation of the property, both the first floor and the second floor for commercial space with 5 residential units. The company advises it's in an expansion mode, and they anticipate the creation of 10 jobs in the next 5 years. The cost of the project is estimated at $3 million. They are requesting benefits from the agency in the form of a mortgage recording tax exemption valued at $17,000, a sales tax exemption valued at $123,000, and due to its location in the NRSA, it will qualify for a priority commercial and residential pilot, value to be determined. Once we see the assessor will need to review it. Laura Cueva, who is the owner of both the company and the building, is here to answer any questions that you may have.
Hi, good morning. My name is Laura Cueva. I'm the president and CEO of Interior Innovations.
Hello, Laura. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Very good to see you, and thank you for investing in that neighborhood, number one. I know I've worked with you in the past on that project to add some vitality to that neighborhood. How are things going in relation to your business and connecting with the other organizations in terms of establishing that you're here now? You have a presence in Central New York. I know you've gone through the Chamber and some other places in terms of support. How has that support been received for you around?
It's slowly, but it's coming. So, like I say, I like to improve the facade of the building because, it's the first face that my customers see, and they don't like it. So, it's why I'm here to promote the renovation of the facade and the building that I can attract better tenants and my customers too.
I also noticed that you've increased investment significantly. I hear the price tag on here is now 3 times
Yes.
What you originally went into.
Yes, because when I bought the building, we don't know the sprinkles. They was really, really bad, and everything is very, very old. It's 110 years old.
Some of the condition of the building, you mean?
Yes, so I need to improve almost everything, lighting, everything. That's why.
Well, thank you and welcome to Syracuse, by the way.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I hope so working together.
I have one question, Laura. On your plan, you indicate that you want to create a rooftop space, a space on the top. Is that for your tenants and customers, or do you envision that as a public space as well?
No, one section is for the tenant, for the apartments, and the other section I was thinking because I sell furniture for outside furniture, so put my furniture for outside there. I have a little display over there too.
Okay, thanks.
So we have before us a resolution authorizing a public hearing on the project? Yes. Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution authorizing a public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries. Smith Building LLC?
Yes. The next agenda item, Smith Building LLC. The agency has received an application for this project also, which is located at 500 Erie Boulevard East. It is the Smith Restaurant Supply Building. The applicant proposes the acquisition and the really gut renovation of the 2 adjoining buildings on the site, 31,000 square feet, to be converted to a mixed residential commercial use. At completion, the project will include 37 to 40 residential units and 2,500 square feet of commercial space. This project is important because the residential units will be income restricted units, not to exceed the area median income of 80%, a portion of which will be restricted to the annual 65% AMI rent limit in the city of Syracuse. This has been an identified need in the city's central business district for some time. It's the reason we have a pilot in our uniform tax exemption policy that is dedicated to this type of project. The cost of the project is estimated to be $6,596,000. The company is requesting benefits from the agency in the form of a mortgage recording tax that will be valued at $39,000, a sales tax exemption benefit valued at $440,000, and a pilot, value to be determined once the assessor has reviewed the project. Matt Paulus, who is the owner and the applicant, well, he's not the owner yet, but he's the applicant, is here if we have any questions for him.
Good. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
So we're asking you, in this particular case, just to approve a resolution authorizing public hearing.
So I'll entertain a motion for the resolution authorizing a public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries. Next, we'll move on to State Tower Building, LLC.
Yes. Good morning. In your packet is a resolution with respect to the State Tower Building. This originally closed with the agency in 2016. It obviously is the renovation of the State Tower into mixed use, which has been completed. I don't know how familiar this board is with the renovation that took place, but the original costs were far exceeded due to abatement issues. Once they got in there, they were unaware of certain abatement issues that had to take place, as well as other construction costs which had not been anticipated. So while they closed on construction financing in the amount of approximately $18.2 million, in fact, given the unanticipated costs, they had to put in another 6.6 or something in that neighborhood. They are now looking to take out the construction financing and put permanent financing in place. And under our lease structure, the agency anticipates that their participation in the permanent financing. Because this happened the way it did with respect to closing on the construction financing before they realized that there were going to be additional costs, the additional monies that were put in were cash that came from various sources. And so in putting the permanent financing on, there has been an increase in the amount of the financing from the original construction loan of $18.2 to what will be a $22 million permanent financing. As such, the company is requesting an increase in their mortgage recording tax exemption to just under $50,000, which represents 0.75% of the delta that they are now experiencing. In addition, they are asking for authorization to have the agency participate in the mortgage documents, which again is anticipated under the lease structure. So the resolution seeks two things. It seeks authorization to execute and participate in the permanent financing documents and to increase their mortgage recording tax exemption by $49,800.
I'll entertain. So, any questions? So we have there's two resolutions?
It's one resolution, but it's asking for two. It's combined.
Okay, so then I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sue, Syracuse Community Hotel Restoration Company?
Yes. So in the agenda is a resolution with respect to what we all know as the Hotel Syracuse. It is the Marriott Downtown. In 2017, Ed Riley, the owner of the hotel, came before the board to request additional financing with respect to the final build-out of the hotel. There were going to be approximately 54 additional guest rooms added and 2 restaurants. So what you know the hotel to be now had been completed or just about completed when he came back, and he was looking to do the final build-out of some additional floors. As a result of that was approved, but it never closed because Ed was putting in place his financing. He has now secured that financing through a new state program with the help of M&T, but due to the approximately 2-year delay in being able to put the financing in place, the construction costs have increased slightly, and so he is back for 2 things. One, to extend the agency agreement, which is the document that is attached to every one of our inducement resolutions, giving the project developer a certain period of time to close with us. That has expired, and he's asking the board to extend that so that he can proceed to close on the final build-out of the hotel. and because of the delay, to request an increase in the state and local sales and use tax exemption that was awarded. The increase is approximately $48,000. I will also note that Ed had previously been approved for a mortgage recording tax exemption as part of the financing for this final build-out, but he does not believe he's going to need the mortgage recording tax exemption because of this new state program that he's getting financing under. It carries its own exemption, so he does not think he's going to utilize that. So
What would have been the value of that?
I'm going to tell you.
It was,
So the original mortgage was $60,000 of the exemption. So if he doesn't use that, it's actually, you're giving him less benefits than you originally thought, but, that's neither here nor there. So I also want to note that Ed has already completed one of the restaurants of the two that he had thought were going to happen in this phase. He went ahead and did that one, but he is looking now to finalize the last restaurant space and the approximately 50 to 54 new guest rooms. Ed is here with his counsel if anyone has any questions about the hotel or what the plan is with respect to this. I don't want to speak for Ed, but I do believe it is his intention to close on this before year's end. Is that correct, Ed?
Yes.
This year.
This year.
Good morning. Ed Riley, Hotel Syracuse / Marriott downtown Syracuse. Yes, our intention is on the C-PACE is to close in either the second or third week of December, and then to actually start construction of the rooms in January and hopefully have them open and ready for occupancy by May 1st next year.
What about the second restaurant? When did that?
Second restaurant will follow a little bit later. We're looking at about an August opening for that. That will be in the shell space that's directly to the right of the main entrance right now. It's the old Rainbow Lounge, and our plan is to restore the Rainbow Lounge back to its original Art Deco appearance and then convert that into our higher end restaurant on there.
Any other questions? And do we think that February 1st, 2020 isn't then enough time to be able to do, I guess?
Yes,
Okay.
because we have to, in order to accommodate a closing on financing, but we have to close. We all have to do it at the same time, so yes.
Okay. So with that, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution authorizing both the retroactive extension of the agreement as well as the increase in the amount of the sales tax exemption. And we'll note that potentially, if we do not need the mortgage recording tax, then that's actually, we'll put less money into it.
Yes.
So, entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seneca Armory Associates, LLC?
Good morning again. So this is a request to approve a temporary appointment for this project. This is the Mulroney building. It's going to be mixed-use apartments. The developer was looking to close now, quite honestly, but because this is a historic tax credit deal, there has been some delays in structuring that financing. Those are always a little bit tricky. They have come to an agreement, but it's going to take a few weeks, maybe a couple months to close it and put it all together. They are looking to start construction, so they are requesting that the board issue a temporary appointment through January, the end of January. In exchange for that, the developer would pay 1/4 of your admin fee in exchange for the temporary appointment and, of course, your associated legal fees. So that is the request before the board.
So, just so I get this in my mind, I know where Mulroney's is. Don't we have something, isn't there something going on right there?
To the left of it?
That's not part and parcel of it?
No.
I think it's upstairs.
Well, there was vacant commercial space adjacent to Mahoney's in the same building.
Which we as SIDA have, isn't the, what is it, the something boys? have?
The Armory Boys.
Armory
But
Boys,
that's
yeah.
that's a different project.
That's a different project. That's what I thought you meant, but
Yeah, so that is not part of this project?
that is not.
No,
It is
not at
separate and
It's in the
distinct. Same block, but
It's the same block, it's not in the same
Yeah,
building.
different
Okay.
owners, completely different owners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion authorizing some temporary sales tax appointment for the project through January 30th of 2020.
Make a motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The resolution carries. Next, John?
Yes, good morning. Our fiscal year is fast approaching year end, and we're asking for approval to retain Grossman St. Amour CPAs to perform our financial audit for 2019. The 2 engagement letters are included in your materials outlining their services. One's for the basic audit, the other is some additional requirements from the New York State Public Authorities Law for the investment report. So he included that separately to draw up the cost factor, but in the end that was folded into the total cost of $17,000, which is the same as last year. And outlined in the letter, their schedule, pretty much the same approach. Mike Lasan will continue to be the managing partner, and their field auditors are rotated to get a fresh look at our books, and we will seek that approval for their contract.
Thank you. Any questions? I'll seek the motion to approve the engagement.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? And I guess next, Judy, we have annual Board of Directors evaluation.
Right, which I'm passing out, and if you, each year, you're required to complete this for the authority's budget office. So if you could complete those and return them to Mike,
When you need them
by the December board meeting, or bring them back, or you can just,
bring them to the next board meeting, so.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Great.
Just need to turn it in by the end of the year.
No, Judy, I've got some signatures I've got to get from you, right?
Okay.
So might as well stop in this week.
Great. Okay. With that, is there a need for an executive session?
Very briefly.
Okay. For what purpose?
For what purpose?
I'm sorry, to discuss property acquisition.
Okay.
Motion.
Make a motion.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll thank the public for coming. We will